Yep, it makes me very nervous as well. Ryan and then Bobby just kind of to capitalize on that. Texas beats the Sooners next week. So obviously, there's a lot to dive into this game, and then we'll talk about it on Wednesday. Obviously, with Mark, and just number one, just exciting for this game to happen. It's one of the best. I think the best rivalry in college sports, one of the most unique rivalries in college sports. And if you guys haven't been there, haven't been down there for a game, it's one of the best atmospheres and just experiences that you'll ever have. It's just fantastic. But in terms of the game, right now, I lean towards Texas probably winning this game. If I'm being honest, um, obviously, excuse me. Obviously, I don't hope that happens, but I think right now the way both teams are playing, I would give Texas a little bit of an edge. On over Oklahoma. I think when you look at defensively, they're probably a little bit even. I might even give Oklahoma a little bit of an edge in terms of them being a little bit better defensively than than Texas. They gave up 27 points to TCU today. I mean, 351 yards isn't bad. You know, if if TCU doesn't have those three turnovers in the game, which give Texas credit, they forced those turnovers, but maybe it's a different story. You've got three turnovers. Max Duggan, I believe he threw at least one interception. If I'm no, these were all fumbles. My apologies. So they did TCU ran for about 170 yards, 4.1 yards per carry. So it's even. I would give Texas a little bit of an edge offensively. Obviously, Bijan Robinson is one of the best players in the country, but when you look at this overall, I'd give Texas a little bit of an advantage offensively, but then give Oklahoma maybe a little bit of an edge defensively. Um, Love Andrew Rain, but he's not strong enough to go into playoffs. Oh, you're absolutely right. One thing that I said, one thing that I said last week, Caravan is if Oklahoma thinks some of these defensive lines are strong and big, if they play Georgia, and I'm just specifically saying Georgia, me personally watching the games, I think Georgia's the number one team in the country. Alabama's great. I mean, they got off to a 35-0 lead over Ole Miss today. Didn't finish the game as well as I'm sure Nick Saban would want, but with a 42-21. Um, but yeah, I think Georgia's the best team in the country, and they've got two absolute grown men in the middle. And yes, they would push Oklahoma's offensive line around. So that's one of the reasons why, right now the way Oklahoma's playing, wouldn't necessarily, obviously, love to see Oklahoma play in a college football playoff um, game just because of who they might would play. But yeah, no, they're not at the same level as a Georgia or as a Alabama right now, without a doubt. Linebackers look timid. I would agree with that as well. Outside of maybe outside of Asamoah, I would say that the linebackers look a little timid as well. I would absolutely agree with that comment. And it's kind of funny as I was obviously the Alabama Ole Miss game was going on at the same time, but Alabama held Ole Miss to 213 yards passing. I mean that's a really good a really good job. So Alabama's I would give Georgia a slight edge defensively, but then I would give Alabama maybe a slight edge offensively. I may change my tune a little bit if JT Daniels doesn't play. I think he's certainly better than Stetson Bennett, but I think he gives you a little bit more of an opportunity in the downfield passing game to be successful. So I think Georgia's defense is the best in the country. Really, really good. Um, Phillip Neal, Oklahoma is ranked number 5, will be favored. So Oklahoma's ranked number 6 right now. So obviously, with Oregon losing, and we've got a couple other teams still playing. Um, I think Penn State is the other, not couple, but Penn State is the other team ahead. Um, I think Cincinnati jumps Oklahoma this week. So if Oklahoma is, let's say Oregon's the only team in the top 5 to lose. I think you probably have Iowa at number 3. You've got Penn State at number 4, and then you've probably got Cincinnati at 5, with and maybe even Cincinnati at 4, but at the very least Cincinnati at 5 and Oklahoma at 6. I still go by what I said, Philip. I think you're probably having Oklahoma as a 4 to 7 point favorite next week, and I could be wrong. The point spread could be a little bit different than what I think, but I would say if Oklahoma's only 10 point favorite at Kansas State, I think it's probably in that neighborhood, 4 to 7 against Texas. Yeah, should be a good game. And join us. We will break down this game in details, in detail on Wednesday, and we may even do something on Friday. A pre OU Texas game on Friday afternoon, just to talk through some things. If you guys are interested, um, really talk about what what Oklahoma looks like, and really break down the game, and really kind of talk about Friday. Let's talk about some of your best Oklahoma Texas moments, some of the best games, and something like that. I'd love to get into that with you guys as well.